The following is a production of 10 Ply Media.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Thoughts Podcast here. It's episode 13. We made it to lucky 13.
Didn't have anybody quit on us this time.
Oh no.
That's right.
That's going to get us in trouble. But guys, we're here again this week from a couch. I'm Rocky Persinger. With me as always, my partner, Brent Pickens. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
My hetero partner, Brent Pickens.
Yeah.
I'll just make that distinction. Just
Not that there's anything wrong with
not that. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
it. For the
I think-
Seinfeld fans out there,
I think, Jay and Silent Bob, they say hetero life mate.
he does.
Yeah, this is my hetero life mate, Silent Bob. So this is my hetero life mate, Brent Pickens, and here we are again, another week, and so we're just going to get right into it here with what we've been playing, and I've been playing a pretty cool little game that Brent brought to my attention,
Oh, yeah.
and it's called the Golf Club 2019, featuring the PGA Tour.
Oh, yeah.
So, a little background on this. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I went golfing for the first time in real life. And I'm the worst golfer on the face of the planet.
I don't know. You haven't seen me. You
Yeah,
didn't break any
but-
clubs.
I didn't break any clubs.
You can ask
but-
Billy Vickers. I snapped his driver in half.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not that bad. I'm also not a damn gorilla like you are.
Well, I mean,
I'm kind of fragile.
you don't look very
kinda-
fragile. I mean, you're a big fella.
I'm kind of thin framed.
No,
mean-
you're clearly not thin frame.
I'm kind of. I mean, I turn to the side, you can't really see me that well. That's what happens with the golf swing. I turn to the side, they can't see me.
That's what it is.
That's I can do a little Cena. Can't see me, but so I went golfing for the first time, and thank goodness it was a scramble. So that you pick up the best player's ball and then move forward and play it every time. Everybody gets a shot, but it was for work, and I had a good time, even though I was god awful. So I was like, man, I might get. My dad's got these old set of clubs. I might get in on this golfing thing.
Yeah.
So I went over this morning, got my dad's clubs. I'm probably going to go to the driving range here in a little bit, and just try to hit some balls. Hopefully I won't. I hurt my wrist because I smacked the damn ground so hard.
Yep. See.
I didn't
happens.
break the club though. I think I just broke my wrist instead of breaking the club.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. So
It's not good.
yeah, it's not good. But we played at a small golf course here in West Virginia, and it's like everything else. It's on the side of a hill.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of tough, but luckily I was a good golf cart driver. That's about the best thing I did all day. Also, drank all the Sprite and Coke they had there.
That's
I don't drink. I used to think that golfing was just for like rich people that need an excuse to get away from their wife and drink.
oh, yeah.
So, but I don't drink, so I was like, well, I don't need to play golf because I don't drink. But anyway, I kind of getting into it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the first time I've ever been.
Oh, yeah. I had a blast when me and Billy went. I mean, other than him scaring the crap out of me on the golf cart.
Yeah, you don't mess
he's-
around on those golf
There was
carts.
dew on the grass.
Sometimes you got drift.
Oh, he was drifting all over the place.
Tokyo drift.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, on a golf cart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was and it's not really. Everybody says it's expensive for like rich people. It's not really. It's not that bad.
no.
If you go once a month or something,
Yeah, I think when we went, I think it was like $40. It was around $35-$40 for,
Yeah, and that gets you a golf
right.
cart. And,
Right. I mean, and it's, you go with a buddy or something. I mean, like I said, do it once a month. That's not terrible.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, hell, you spend that out if you're going out for food or something.
dude, I'm telling you, I've been to the movies twice this month,
Ooh.
and I spend $40 every time I go,
Yeah.
and it's just me and Allison. If I had kids, my God,
I don't
man,
take them.
it's impossible to go. Our buddy Chase, who works down at Synergy, the place where Brent works, and I used to work, he went into the movie theater packing. You know, well, I went to the movies with him, and I rolled in. I bought my large drink, my popcorn. You know, he rolled in with like 3 bags of candy from the dollar store, and like 5 bottles of water.
Ain't his first rodeo.
No, he rolled in there, and he was passing out waters to every freaking kid that came through the line. And you know, but I'm sitting there spending, you know, $30 on myself because I gotta get the medium popcorn, a large drink, little peanut M&Ms.
You got to get the liter of Mellow Yellow.
You got to get the liter of yellow.
Yeah, it's.
But yeah, man,
cheap.
That's more expensive than going and playing golf. And golf lasts all day. A movie lasts 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you can play 18 holes for, you know, all freaking day.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And I've always been a fan of the golf video games.
Oh yes. Yes. Back to Tiger Woods. What?
07?
06, 07?
06,
The
07.
Tiger Vision.
Tiger Vision. I've
man.
probably got that game somewhere.
Oh, I
over there.
guarantee you do.
Well, there's Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10 right there
Yeah.
on the PS3.
See, I messed up several years ago. I bought the McIlroy Golf.
Yeah, Rory.
He did not have the Vision.
Yeah, see, you can't. Well, you got Tiger Vision, right?
Yep.
Rory Vision just doesn't have a ring to
It
it
doesn't pop.
because you can't go Tiger Vision.
And I don't understand why they took Tiger's crap away. Because he got caught cheating a little bit. I mean, come on.
Who doesn't do that
Yeah.
out there? Listen, if you're Tiger Woods, how much temptation you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, you've been on the scene since you were 3.
It's real. I saw a video of him, you know, he's first on the PGA Tour. He's like juggling a golf ball with a club.
Yeah.
He did it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
he was doing tricks and shit. He was putting it behind his back. All kinds of stuff, man. It was legit.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, Tiger back in the day, it is kind of like Tyson though, if you think about it. He was really dominant for like, you know, the first part of his career.
Yep.
And then it just went to shit.
Yeah, he had some injuries with his shoulder, and he really never been the same since.
Well, you know, when your wife hits you in the side with a golf club.
Well, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I get temptation, but I mean, you were with what, Lindsey Vonn?
Yeah,
the
like
Olympic skier.
Yeah, a freaking supermodel. Basically.
I feel like I could be good. I mean,
yeah, I'm good. You know,
it's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm fine.
But then you're Tiger, man. You're sitting around. You got all these golf groupies. I don't even know if that is a thing.
Golf groupies.
Yeah, back in the '90s, there's probably golf groupies for Tiger.
I don't.
I mean, I know for a fact there were.
Well, I mean, somebody was willing to. I mean, that is for. I mean, you get them. You know,
depending on how much
rich athlete with you know, millions of dollars. So,
depending on what they'll buy me, I mean, I might be up for it too. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, buy me a house or something.
Pay off some of my debt.
Pay off that credit card.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean, so if there's any athletes out there that, you know,
was it Jan Silent Bob? He said, man, it's not. They don't have a straight and gay anymore.
They don't. It's true. It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum. So yeah, but
there's no lines anymore.
oh boy, how did we get into this?
Oh, that's great.
What are we getting into? But the Tiger Woods PGA Tour games, loved them. You know,
Oh, yeah.
And those are made by the infamous EA Sports.
Yeah. And I called it. I said it yesterday. I'm gonna go on record.
He's on record.
Write this date down. It's going 10 years from now. If EA makes it 10 years,
Oh boy,
2K is taking over the scene.
it could be. So
They
you're
start
saying
with basketball, and I don't think EA's ever going to catch it. I take it, you know, because EA's got a long ways to go to catch up with 2K, and then now they're doing golf.
you're fired up about this.
I am 2K, son, and then football is coming back. I'm calling it right now. Coming back.
I don't know why they don't do the All Pro thing again.
I know, that was sweet.
But they you know, they said they're not interested unless they get the full license to do an NFL game.
No.
They're not interested in doing it, and I really don't know why. But there's a few competitors out there right now, Maximum Football and you know, which used to be Canadian Football, I think, and then there's that IMV game that's coming out, that IMV gaming developer college football game.
Immaculate. something with a
Oh, I don't know. That's the college football. game
immaculate gaming or something.
But it's going to be like a Division II game or something.
Yeah. That call, I will say that the first one we talked about, it was the Canadian thing.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
I watched some video because I called Rocky one night. I'm going through the PlayStation Network, or the PlayStation Store, and I come across that. I was like, "Oh, what is this?" So I call him. I was like, "Have you heard of this?" And of course, he has. And I watched a trailer for it, and it looked awful.
There are no animations in the game.
No, which I'm fine with taking those out.
I think that needs animations, just fluid animations.
Yes.
Instead of pre-planned ones like Madden. But
and speaking, while we're on the animation, we're gonna upload a video to our Facebook page.
Yep.
Of me playing Madden, and I am done with Madden. Today, I'm trading it in. I'm done with it.
Okay.
I'm done.
Rewind
and
the clock.
He called this, okay?
Rewind the clock 2 weeks ago. Play the tape back.
Play the tape. I caved.
I don't know, man. It's pretty good.
Well,
what did I say? 2 weeks.
Well, yeah. But I was playing the different mode, whatever.
2 weeks.
But it's awful.
Yeah, it's a bad. Just
the animation. Just stop with the animations, EA.
Check our Facebook page later.
Yeah, we're gonna play, and it is awful. Like my quarterback, quarterback, did some other stuff. Well, anyway, I'm throwing to my tight end. He catches it. He's running like a 5 yard and in, basically across the middle.
Yep.
He catches it. He breaks 2 tackles. I have an open field in front of me. I have 2 receivers that all they had to do is run down and block. Well, apparently they didn't get the memo that the play is still going on. They thought the play was over, so they're walking off of the field.
Yep, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But
I'm telling you, unless 2K does something with an NFL game,
I'm not.
and I know I've caved. I caved this year, but I am done.
Yep.
I am done with EA Sports football games.
Yep.
After today, I'm taking it. I'm trading the damn thing in, and I'm telling you, and I won't buy another UFC game.
No, those suck too.
They were, they got me this year. They taught me, and I was like, oh, it looks good. It's awful.
They do this every year.
Every year, Madden this is probably one of the worst Maddens I've ever played.
Yep.
Because just stop with the animations.
Yep.
Like Rocky showed me videos of, hell, we're playing NCAA 06. 06 for everybody out there. 06.
06.
And they're looking up. They're looking for over shoulder pass. On this year, you can't do that.
Yeah,
they all turn around,
catch the ball,
and don't even get me started on the interceptions. The ridiculous interceptions you can throw. Like I had to turn the interception down to 0 just so I don't throw 6.5.
Well, and it's because the linebackers are 900 feet tall.
Yeah, and got 8-foot arms.
8-foot arm. You can't throw over a linebacker in the game. But we get onto this damn Madden 2K thing every week.
I got riled up.
He got riled. He got a little heated there. I was like, man, he's getting into it.
But EA, we're done with you.
So the golf club game. I think 2K is involved.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a full blown 2K. Because from what I understood, they put out a 2018 game.
Yep.
But it wasn't. It didn't have any ties with PGA. It was kind of their thing, and because it keeps popping up on Facebook. That's how I seen the trailer for it, and I was like, man, this looks really good.
Yeah.
And then when you click on it, it says 2K. So I don't know if they partner with somebody, so they can't take full credit.
They must have, because the game, when it starts up, it doesn't say 2K Sports.
So I don't know, but the thing caught my eye was the course. You can make your own courses.
Course creator, and you can which this is a thing they did with created teams back in like Madden 13 and 14, which I don't think they really have in the game anymore.
Nope.
You can create
it away.
You can create a course like, okay, for instance, on this PGA Tour game, the golf club, I saw they have 6 registered courses, right? Well, then I searched because I wanted to play on the Greenbrier because the Greenbrier Resort's here in West Virginia. I was like, I wonder if they have the Greenbrier. Well, it's not one of the official courses, but I searched through and somebody on there has created the Greenbrier. Like they created the course. They created the Greenbrier.
So you can download other people's courses.
You can download other people's courses too.
That's great.
It's kind of like Mario Maker for the Wii U. You could make Mario levels and then download them. So yeah, this game's pretty cool that way, and it looks amazing.
Well, that's the thing that blew my mind. Like, I watched a trailer for it, and I was like, it looks really good. And then when I got here, I was watching Rocky play before we started the podcast, and it looks like it's a computer game. Like, I mean, it looks
better than console.
It really does.
Yeah.
And everything looks amazing. You can even see the little pivots in the ground where other people have teed off.
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
So.
And I noticed like the shadowing and stuff. Like at different times of day, the sun is different, and then the clouds move. And if the sun moves behind the clouds, you actually get like an overcast type thing. There's like a shadow on the whole course. Just little stuff like that is really cool. And so the game also, you just create your own guy or girl and go through a career with him. Like they don't have any of because EA has licenses for all the golfers, like the Players Association for PGA.
See, I wonder when their contract runs up.
I don't know. On golf, I have no idea.
The last year I bought was the McIlroy golf.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that was 2 years ago.
I don't even know if they're still making that.
Well, see, and that's what I don't know, because I know they got college football not college football, NFL license or sports things in NFL for so many years
till 2020, I think.
Yeah. Well, then I wonder if that was the same way with PGA.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I assume those are different deals, but yeah, this game, man, you just create your own player and you play against kind of made up people, right? And you can play online and stuff like that. And it's a pretty cool game. The mechanics are great. The swing is with the analog stick and the putt. It feels good. You play a few games to get the hang of it.
Oh yeah.
But after that, it feels really good.
Yeah, no, I was watching him play, and it looks. I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah, there's no Tiger Vision on this either.
No.
But
I mean, that adds another realistic thing, and
yeah,
it does have a putt preview, and you can use so many times.
Yeah, you can do 4 per match, I guess you call it. You can do the putt preview where you actually make the shot and see if it goes in, and then you go back to actual mode and hit it. Now, I've been playing on easy as well. I haven't put it on hard or anything. I don't really enjoy putting games on hard.
Especially sports, especially games like that.
Yeah,
because you're just getting frustrated, and
yeah, it feels like if you just put it on hard, it's just that means the computer's going to cheat you more.
Yeah,
like that's all hard feels like. But yeah, I put it on easy, so I still have a tough time winning these matches. I still, but it's it's a pretty cool game, and since I've been into golf and stuff and golfing video games. I really like it. I like it better than the last Rory McIlroy I played, which was yours from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I think it's really cool. I'm glad you turned me on to it. It is $40 on the PlayStation Store. Will I say it's worth 30 or 40? Probably not. I would say wait till it goes on sale at 30 or 20, which probably won't take too long, honestly. But yeah, I don't know if it's worth the 40. At least it's not the full 60 though.
Oh yeah,
they brought it down. They realized, okay, this isn't the Tiger Woods isn't in this game, Rory isn't in this game, Adam Scott or whoever, and they took it down to 40. So props to them for that. But and then another drawback of the game, you have to always be online. If you want to play your PGA Tour career, you have to be online.
So I wonder why they did that.
I don't know why games do that, but you know, you can play local multiplayer offline. You know, so we can take turns. I meant to have you bring your sticks.
Oh, they're in the truck.
Oh, they're out there. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we might have to play a little golf.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's.
But yeah, man. The Golf Club 2019 featuring the PGA Tour.
Yeah. That's.
So you know, and so I mentioned that I went over this morning and got my dad's old golf clubs. I'm gonna go, and I showed them to Pickens. They look like when Happy Gilmore got the clubs from his grandpa, you know, when they were clearing out his grandma's house because she was getting evicted, and he finds these golf clubs. That's what they look like. It's kind of funny, you know. They're really old, and my dad, you know, he's like, "Oh, these clubs are brand new. They're great, you know, they're great clubs." Which the irons are still, you know, in really good shape or whatever, but you know, the driver's like pretty old, you know. I'm sure it was state of the art in 1995, but my dad doesn't realize that was, you know, 23 years ago now. To him, that's like yesterday.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
95 is like yesterday. So, but I got these clubs, man. I'm pretty psyched about it. Probably go to the driving range, but yeah, it just reminded me of Happy Gilmore when he gets those old crappy clubs. But I don't know if we'll talk about it today, but yeah, Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite movies. It's my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Oh yeah.
Are you a Billy Madison guy?
I like Billy Madison, but
I like Billy Madison, but I'm, you know, Happy.
I think Happy is you know, probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think
that's.
There's a lot of quotable lines in Billy Madison, but I think Happy Gilmore has more.
Yeah.
Like every line you can quote on that.
Oh yeah.
But
and Shooter, mate, you know, Shooter McGavin.
Shooter.
That made it for me. Two Gun.
Yeah. How am I supposed to chip when there are two bikers having sex in the woods off of 16? Yeah, but just a ridiculous amount of quotable lines. And
I eat pieces like you I eat crap like you for
breakfast.
breakfast.
Pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
And
he's like, you eat pieces of for breakfast? Yeah.
Oh no, he
I say that all
he was
the
the
time.
perfect guy for the yeah.
Yeah, he was the perfect. I've seen him in a couple other things, but it's always like, oh, hey, there's Shooter McGavin. I don't even know the guy's name, but that's he fights Bob Barker, which is freaking hilarious. But people today probably, you know, kids today don't even know who the heck Bob Barker is. Drew Carey took over, and Price is Right isn't the same. I watch the end of the Price is Right every day when I go down to lunch, and it's just not the same without Bob, man.
Price is wrong, Bobby boy.
I'll just say this: Bob Barker is lucky that you know, this whole Me Too sexual harassment movement wasn't going on when he was.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was getting with a lot of the Barker beauties.
I think so, man.
Bob's beauties. I'm telling you, man. He was getting it in back in the day.
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Oh boy, I ain't making any accusations or anything though. But
calling out Bob Barker. That's
so. Brent, what have you been playing, man?
Well, of course, you know, we were talking about a week ago, I think, about you know, I was kind of up and back and forth. Well, you know, I'm going with what I know. I went ahead and pre-ordered 2K
NBA 2K5
19
2K5
2K5.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about NFL 2K5 because that's what I've been playing all week.
Yeah. And I downloaded the preload to it, and where you know, you get a little taste of it before. And that's another thing I love about 2K. You know, the basketball one anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it gives you a little taste of it before the actual game comes out.
Right.
And you can decide if you're gonna. But you know, so far I really like the story of it. You know, this year's story is like it's a way back or something along that lines. You know, you come out for the draft, you don't get drafted, so you go play overseas. You
play in China.
You're
right?
playing in China, in Shanghai.
Which I'm mad they didn't go to Lithuania.
I know, be the big baller brand.
Big ballers.
But no, it's pretty neat, you know. And then you know, you play a couple games, get taste. You know, you play with the Shanghai Bears, and your coach is screaming at you in Chinese, and you don't know what he's saying. And that's what's got crazy too. Even the announcers, Lacey was getting aggravated with me because I had the volume up, and the announcers are talking, but it's in Chinese, so you don't know what the hell they're saying.
Well, hey, they went real with it.
They did, and but it's really neat, and then. This year they brought a rivalry. You have kind of a rivalry with a guy you played with in high school, I guess. So, and the customization looks really good too
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
The stuff you can do, and but I'm pretty excited about it. I think I have like one more game to play before the
It's
prelude's
over.
over.
The prelude's
so.
over. Yeah, that is pretty cool. The 2K does that every year. You can download anybody can download that.
Right, it's free.
And preview the game before it actually comes out, which makes it pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
And they did something cool this year. You know, you're the rivalry. You know, y'all play a big game, and he's telling you just to live it up. You know, enjoy where you're at. You know, all the scenery and this and that. And because your guy is basically just trying to get his way back, make his way back to the NBA,
right.
or to the NBA for the first time, whatever. Well, you go out on town with him, and you go to an arcade, and it has the original 2K. That's what they said, and I was like, I wonder what they're going with this.
Yeah, and I don't know when the first 2K was. Like, I don't know.
2K5 or 6. One of them had Shaq on it. When he was with the Heat.
Okay.
But I don't know if they meant the original or the first one for the. But anyway, it shows like a tube TV, the screen of it, and it's all fuzzy. You know, if anybody grew up playing on one.
Which I got my tube TV right behind us right
And
now.
yeah, you don't pick your teams or anything, but I was Houston when they had Yao, they had Shane Battier, Tracy McGrady, Steve Francis. You know, I was that team, and then he was the Celtics when they had the four. You know, Ray Allen, Pierce, Garnett, Rondo. And so it was kind of cool, you know. It was kind of something different. They snuck in, so. But I'm pretty excited for it because I love how every year they, you know, of course you heard me talk about this before,
Right.
how they put the old school teams in there too.
Yep. Yep.
So but I'm, you know, the 7th, I think it was September 7th is when, if you pre-ordered it, you can play it 4 days early.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's another cool thing to do.
That
So,
is, yeah. You play it early if you pre-order. Yeah, that's pretty. That's
But
pretty.
yeah,
legit.
I'm excited about that, and I think I'm going to end up getting that golf game also because it looks a lot of fun, and
It's fun, man.
I like the golf games. I've always had fun with them.
Yeah, and this is another one of those games I never heard of it before, man. How did you hear about
It just popped up on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, it just kept, you know, it was just scrolling down. It kept popping up, so I finally played the.
See, if people looked at our Facebook ads like that, we'd be a lot bigger podcast.
I know.
Look at that. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, it's pretty cool, you know, 2K doing it again this year. But you think you're going to check out NBA Live as well?
No, I'm not going to.
Not going to do it? There's
No,
not enough
'cause
money to go around?
There's not, and then like I said, I bought it last year just because it was on PlayStation Network for pretty cheap.
Right.
But I didn't buy it at first, you know. I was
Right.
like, well, I'm gonna try it out, and even on it, the story I liked it, and this year's story looks good, but the animations,
Those damn EA
they-
animations.
they put more than they should have to it. I think.
Damn EA animations.
Cole, I don't know.
They got to do it. They just got to do it in every game.
But after playing 2K and play it, the 2K feels so much smoother.
yeah.
But
So, you know, we do talk about video games a lot here on the Couch Thoughts podcast, and it's the first one I've ever been to. We went to a retro video game convention this weekend.
Oops.
Me and Brent went down to Huntington, West Virginia. It's the Power Up Retro Gaming Convention. It was really cool, man. I mean, they were set up in a, you know, like a ballroom type thing there.
Yeah, I mean, they had all kinds of games. I mean,
The games were, it was crazy how many games there were. And, you know, they're all retro games. So, like, you know, well, PS3 isn't really retro, but you didn't see a lot of, like, PS4 games there.
no, you didn't see much. You know, and
It's all Super Nintendo.
It took everything
Nintendo.
in me to hold off on getting the PS, because I found PS2 there for $20.
And we looked later, and that's actually a really freaking
Yeah,
good
and it was
deal.
tested, and I was like, I should have got it.
It was a slim model as well.
So, I mean, some of the stuff was overpriced, but a lot of the stuff was pretty close to what it, you know.
Yeah, what it should be, you
Yeah.
know. And I have an app. It's called Retro Collector, I think. And it shows you that it looks up the eBay price for the games and stuff. So, you know, you don't get cheated and stuff. And, you know, there were some games like, okay, there was a box of $5 games, right? And I looked through them. Some of them were $3 games. Some of them were $9 games. So I just picked up a bunch of them, and it kind of it comes out in the wash, right? So you're still getting a pretty good deal. But yeah, I bought a pretty good bit of games while I was there. Brent held off.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But Brent's trying to make room for a tube TV right now.
I would like to, because I'm a firm believer. Because when I had the PS2, I went back and I had it for a little bit. I'm a firm believer you can't play it on the LCD or LED TV.
Yep.
Because it's just too.
It's too kind of blocky, and we actually got motion sick from an Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, it was awful.
And it was like being car sick, and I was sick for like a whole day.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's where it was an earlier PS2 game or if it was just the TV.
Yep.
And I'm starting to think it was the TV.
I think it was the TV because we've played PlayStation 2 on my tube TV here that I got from his father-in-law, and yeah, man, it's perfect.
Yeah,
like it looks a lot better. It doesn't look as jagged. Because the tube TVs kind of blend it a little bit. But anybody who's into retro games knows, you gotta get your tube TV. And people just throw them out. They just throw them out on the curb, and you can pick them up. If you get somebody who knows what they are, though, and the retro gamers collect them, they'll try to charge you $50 or something.
Oh
for
yeah.
them. But never get a tube TV unless it's free.
Yeah.
As of right now. Now that may change in the future when they run out of them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long mine's going to work, but because it's already got some lines on the top that but they fade away once it warms up. And then yesterday I was having a problem with my sound, but I'm 90% sure that was my my PlayStation cable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because you can wiggle it and
wiggle it and the buzzing. It was a buzzing sound, and you could wiggle it and it would stop.
Yep.
But so I bought quite a few games. So in the in the $5 bins for the PlayStation 2. Last week we talked about the Lord of the Rings games.
Yep.
And I had gotten one that Brent had never played before called The Third Age.
Yep.
And I also went and bought the games for all 3 movies.
Yep.
Because I found them in the bottom of a bin in the $5 bin, and I was like, they're worth like $3 or $4.
Oh yeah.
But I got some other games that are worth a little more than that, so that's pretty cool. Then I got the Stuntman games. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
Stuntman.
I had a lot of fun with that game.
Stuntman's cool, man. Then there was a Stuntman 2 that I didn't like as much.
I don't know if I even played it.
Yeah, it came out. I rented it. It was back in the day when you still rented games. And then I bought Star Wars Battlefront. Just a class. It's not Battlefront 2, but it's still a classic. PlayStation 2 game.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the Xbox, I've got Star Wars Republic Commando, which I was telling Brent is kind of like was Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
Where you play. It's a first-person shooter, but you can also command 3 or 4 troops that are with you. So it's like Brothers in Arms Road to Hills 30 or something like that. I remember those games too. But and then I picked up Pilot Wings from Nintendo 64, which I didn't have. No, it wasn't Pilot Wings, was it? What did I pick up?
1080, wasn't it?
1080 snowboarding. I bought Pilot Wings like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought it was 1080.
Yeah, I bought Pilot Wings a little while back. It was 1080 snowboarding. The covers look similar too, the colors. And then I bought Ninja Gaiden 2 for the NES. And that was kind of my haul, and then we ended up getting some. There was an artist there, and we ended up getting some prints.
Yeah, this was some really good stuff.
Really good. He did the logo for the retro gaming convention that we were at, and he did a really good job of that. He did the anybody that's familiar, with the Fallout 76 that's coming out. They knew that Camden Park was in the game, and Camden Park is right down the road from us here. Well, he did this kind of like Camden Park sign, but it said, Power Up Retro Gaming Convention. So he made, and it was the T-shirt for the convention.
He did really good work.
It was really good, and he made I bought some posters. I'll have to show them later. But I bought some posters. I bought one for a game on NES called Karate Champ, which is Karate Champ is one of the worst fighting games ever made. You cannot figure out the controls. There's a bonus stage where like these potted plants fly at you, and you're supposed to be able to kick them, but since you don't know the controls, you can't kick them, and it just smacks you in the face and you go down. I would sit there for hours when I was a kid and try to figure out the controls, and to this day, I still have no idea what the controls are. But then Brent bought a really cool one.
Yeah, I bought a Macho Man one from the WrestleMania game.
WrestleMania game on the NES.
Yeah, and it is legit. So
it looks really good. I also bought one for Zelda, and then WCW versus NWO Revenge.
And that one, it was a hard choice for me because I wanted the WCW NWO Revenge because it had Sting, had Mysterio, Nash, Hall, Hogan.
Yep.
I think that was it. Oh, Goldberg
was
on there too.
Yeah,
and it looked awesome. I mean, it looked really good.
But yeah, you know, for a first gaming convention, I thought it was pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, I had a blast.
You know, I kind of would like to go to one of the bigger ones, like you know, Portland Retro Gaming Expo or Retro Palooza. Who Jay from the Game Chasers on YouTube, he throws that one. But just shout out to Power Up Retro Gaming Convention here in Huntington, West Virginia. It's a pretty cool little thing.
Yeah, I had a blast. I thought it was really good.
I will say this is I've never been to a Comic Con or, you know, anything like that. This is my first time experiencing a convention.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people talk about how nobody there takes a shower.
Yeah, we walked in and I got a whiff of.
There were smells I've never smelled before.
I was like, good gosh.
It smelled like my boots after working for, you know, out in the sun all day or something.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, I guess you'll have that. I guess that's one of the...
That's one of the things. Nerdy people are dirty, man. I don't know why. Like, you're just sitting there playing video games. Take a shower.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard.
There's no excuse for being an adult and smelling bad. Like,
no.
There's no excuse for that. So, I don't know, people. Take a shower. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing about the con that kind of sucked.
Yeah, and it was crowded.
It was very crowded.
And you're trying to look at stuff, and you can't really get in there.
Yeah, trying to look at games, and then there was there was one store that was going out of sale. They had everything half off, so everybody was just slammed around that. But yeah, I'd recommend that convention, and I might go to some more conventions.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, next thing I had for what we've been watching is a new Netflix series from Matt Groening.
Yep.
The creator of Futurama and The Simpsons and all those.
Oh yeah.
And it's called Disenchanted.
Yeah. It just reminds me so much of Futurama.
It does.
And the animation, it looks awesome.
The animation, they stepped it up from Futurama, man. It looks good.
It looks really good, and like I said, I still have several episodes to watch, but
I got a couple episodes left.
I like it. I mean, I really do.
I think it's funny. It's a medieval take on Futurama, basically, and there's a princess and a castle and stuff. But it kind of the princess, she likes to go with the commoners and drink and carry on and stuff. And then she meets up this elf who's from like this magical land of gumdrops and all this stuff, and he's like really innocent, and then he comes out and then the princess also gets a demon as a wedding gift.
Yeah, she opened it. I guess she wasn't. I missed the part. I don't know if somebody set it up there to kind of to make her bad.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if somebody set it up there, but there's these people watching her as the thing goes on, and that's kind of funny. The demon is my favorite character. He's kind of like Bender.
He is
in Futurama.
He's a lot like Bender.
Yeah. So I just love Bender. Now the little demon doesn't have a catchphrase yet, like bite my shiny metal ass, or anything like that, but. It's a pretty funny show, man.
Yeah, well, I was watching the part where they're locked out of the castle, so they go across the water.
And
there's a big waterfall at the end of it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you got to swim against the current. So she hops in, she's swimming, and Elfo's like, what's swimming? And he hops in, and it just immediately takes him off the waterfall.
He goes off the cliff and falls out of the cliff.
I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty funny though.
There was one episode that I thought was really funny where the princess gets kicked out of the castle because she has this big party with like a bunch of Vikings and stuff, and then like the king is away, and she has this party, and then a bunch of Vikings take over the kingdom and stuff. I don't know if you got to that episode.
I haven't watched
yet.
that one yet.
But so she gets kicked out of the castle, and she goes and lives with a bunch of nuns for like a week, and then they kick her out because she says all this. One, she has a demon with her, and so then she goes back, and the king just kicks her out of the castle, and she ends up going and living with these poor people, and the guy she ends up the father of that family ends up being the executioner. And so he hurts his back one day, and they bring in this witch, right? And it's supposed to be the witch from like Hansel and Gretel, like the old fairy tale or whatever. So they bring in this witch, and she's just laughing the whole time, like like that. And so the executioner hurts his back, and he gives the axe to the princess. He's like, okay, you can chop her head off now or whatever. So they get to this execution, and she can't do it, right? So then she's got this big axe, and then somehow the elf runs off to the witch's house, and they meet Hansel and Gretel there, and it does this flip on Hansel and Gretel where Hansel and Gretel actually tied up the witch, and they were eating people. So it ends up the princess, and I'm going to spoil the episode here, but it's still funny even though the plot doesn't really matter.
No.
But it's kind of funny because the princess, she wouldn't kill this witch, right? Because the witch is like looking up at her. She's looking at the witch, and she can't chop her head off. And so then at the end, she gets this axe made out of candy, and she goes, and there's this big chase with Hansel and Gretel. And she's getting ready to like hit Hansel with the axe, and she winds back with it backwards, and Gretel is behind her, and she doesn't even realize it. Like Gretel's like sneaking up to stab her or something, and she goes backwards and stabs Gretel in the head, and then with the axe, and then lifts Gretel over her back and stabs Hansel with the axe. So like they're both impaled on this axe.
That's hilarious.
And she was like, "Oh, I finally killed someone." And then like it was this happy ending, like after she had just murdered two people with an axe. And then the witch, the curse gets broken on the witch, and the witch turns out to be a good person and all this stuff. But it's just funny, man. It was really funny. So that's like episode 6 or 7. So that was really funny. But yeah, I thought it was, I thought it was a good show.
I'm more, you're never sure about these new shows like that, but I like I said, Futurama's probably my favorite animated show.
Yeah, I like it better than I know you like American Dad a lot.
American Dad is up there, but I think I like Futurama more.
Futurama's my favorite, followed by like The Simpsons, and then there's like Robot Chicken and Metalocalypse and stuff like that I really like. I'm not a big Family Guy.
I'm not either.
I don't really like it.
It's kind of got to the point with South Park got to.
Yeah, South Park was good for like 5 seasons.
They're just seeing how far they can push it, and it's like, I don't know. It to me, it's really fell off. So,
yeah, it has. Yeah. I agree with that. They just keep going on with it because it was this big phenomenon thing, and they just keep it. It's like The Simpsons; it just keeps going and going. And The Simpsons isn't as funny as it used to be, and stuff like that. So, but this Disenchanted show is pretty darn good, and they came out on Netflix with it. So
yeah, and like I said, if you like Futurama or American Dad, I mean, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially it is in the Futurama vibe.
Oh yeah, oh definitely.
Yeah, it really is. So, go watch that. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, before we get into we might talk a little sports today, but I think Brent wanted to talk about Game Informer.
Oh,
So I'll let Brent do a little rant here.
let me tell you something. I don't know why they still have a magazine. There's nothing in it. I get every once a month. I'm still.
Could this turn into a things I hate? Game
I think
Informer?
it could. I think it could.
Ooh.
I guess
I
you
think
could tie
I-
that in there with your Ford truck.
Oh boy. Yeah, see, I wasn't even going to talk about that. Never buy a Ford truck.
Still a little sore about that.
It's still a little fresh. Never buy a Ford truck.
But I don't even know why. Because used to, and I think we could tie in the cheat codes thing in there with this too.
Yeah.
Used to, I remember when I was probably say between 8 and 14, probably.
Yeah.
That's when I really loved looking at it because at the end of the book it used to have the cheat codes.
Yeah.
I used to love looking at those, and I don't know whatever happened to cheat codes now. But the Game Informer, they never. Now it's crap. There's nothing in it. It's like, why are you still sending this to me?
Yeah.
There's
I don't know how they still have the money to print it, honestly.
I don't either. I mean, I know that they did the whole iPad where they'll email it to you.
Yeah, when I still had my Power Up thing from GameStop, I canceled it because I buy stuff off the PlayStation Store, or, order it from Amazon and get 15% off. But yeah, I mean, they were emailing it to me there for a while when I still had my GameStop Power Up card, and I never even opened the email.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, well, there's another Game Informer. I don't care.
Well, I get one, once a month, and there's nothing in it that you really care about. Before, they would get, and even if you take it back like 5 years, they would send stuff like upcoming games coming out. They'd have like a 2-page thing about it. And
Right.
You'd find it. Now it's just like it'll have a little bit, and then it has like reviews and stuff of
Yeah, a bunch of reviews.
just I don't know. What's the point?
What is the point of Game Informer? So that is not quite a thing I hate, but it's what's the point of it?
Yeah. Why are you still doing this?
Why just stop making Game
quit.
Informer magazine.
Yeah. I mean,
Nobody wants. It's like Nintendo Power's gone now.
yep.
They had like the PlayStation magazine for a long time there, to kind of competitor to Nintendo Power. But once Nintendo Power kind of died, the video game magazine industry should have kind of gone with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Because Nintendo Power back in the day, I never got them very much, but I would go into a newsstand and read the damn thing and then put it back. 'Cause,
Well, I remember sitting in the floor at Walmart while I was waiting on my grandparents to get done. I'd sit in there and just go through the magazine.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo Power, man. They even had like walkthroughs of games, cheat codes, like Brent said.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff like that. But that kind of does fold into another thing we've been trying to talk about for a couple weeks, but haven't had time. Is whatever happened to cheat codes in video games?
I don't know. I remember when you could buy the Game Genie.
Yep.
Plug it in, and you had all kinds of cheat codes.
Yep.
I remember the thing for the PlayStation. You could hook up to it.
Yep.
You had all that, but
Yeah, and they had that. Remember the PlayStation? I was just talking about this with my boss the other day. Remember they had the mod chip
yeah,
for the PlayStation? You could play burned games.
yep,
Not that anybody would ever
yeah,
do such a
not
thing.
do anything like
But
that.
they had that for PS2 as well.
Yeah.
And then PS3 they kind of, it was sophisticated enough where they kind of locked that out. But
Yep.
that's kind of a cheat code.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, Game Genies, stuff like that. There's just no, and going back to like the Konami code in Contra, right? It's like up, down, left, right, BA, start. Right, everybody knows the Konami code. I think that's right. If that's not right, just take my retro gamer cred away. But there was it would give you 30 lives or whatever it was, and that's how you started the game. And then some of the last great hoorah for cheat codes in video games
Grand Theft Auto
is the Grand Theft Auto series.
Yep.
Yep. The last one that really had it was Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
But, you know, so it was always Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, Vice City. They all had, you know, they switched around. They were all the same cheats, but they switched around what they did in each game.
Yep.
So I remember, like, R1, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up, left down, right up.
Oh.
That was in Vice City, I think that was health. In 3, that was like a weapons code.
Yep. But on 3, you had like 5 different weapons codes.
Yeah, there were a bunch of different weapons on.
Now I remember to get rid of the cops was up, down, up, down. Maybe it's 4 times. Up, down, up, down, up, down.
But it was always like R1, R2,
Yep.
L1, R2, up, down, up, down, up,
Yep.
down. You know.
Yep.
And then some of them were like L2, R1, R2, L1,
Yep.
like kind of around. But those were the last great, you know, cheat codes in video games. And you cannot beat those games without cheating.
You can't.
I don't know if you've beat Vice City ever.
No, I beat it, but yeah.
Vice City, I mean, there's the final, you know, shootout, and it's like Scarface,
Yeah.
right? And these guys just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And it's you have to be so quick with that health code that you're basically just constantly putting in the health code.
Yeah.
And you get really good at it, you know, like, and then you put in the code.
I remember you could repair the damage on your car.
Repair
It'd
the
be
damage
on
on
fire,
your
and you try
car.
to put it in before it blows up.
Right, yeah, it's really quick. Or like, you know, used to run a car into the water and then put in the vehicle damage code and sit there for like 2 hours. Well, that's how stupid we were back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we just run a car in the water, and then before we would die, we would sit there and enter the health code or whatever, because that was a good way to, you know, the health code, because your health went down really fast.
Yeah, it did.
So if you could sit there and put in the health code while you were drowning, you know, then you were good enough at the health code to beat the game.
Yeah.
So, but then, man, you know, they kind of went away from it. Cheat codes back in the day, there were a lot for every game on like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64. There are all kinds of cheat codes. You know?
Yeah.
And also, you know, PS1, PS2. Then you get into the PS3, Xbox 360 era, and they're just gone.
Yeah.
Except for Grand Theft Auto 4. But you'll remember in Grand Theft Auto 4, you had to pull out your phone. I just bumped the mic again. You got to pull out your phone, scroll down through your phone, select the cheat,
Put the phone number in or
put
something.
put something in. You had to select it from the menu.
I wasn't a fan of the phone thing.
I was not a fan of the phone, especially dipshit calling you every 3 minutes.
I know. And there's always somebody calling you. Well, you want to go do this? No, leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
But is there modern video games with cheat codes? Maybe some of those indie games probably have cheat codes. You know, those side scroller games, like
Oh yeah.
Shovel Knight and all those. Maybe those have cheat codes. But man, by and large, really, cheat codes are gone from video games.
They really are. I mean,
You know? But so it's kind of sad in a way, you know, that cheat codes are done. You know, you had cheat, and you know, in like GoldenEye 007 in Nintendo 64, you had to, you know, if you ran through the level quick enough, you unlocked a cheat, and that was always awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like paintball mode, big head mode. You had the golden gun cheat where you started out with the golden gun, which was one shot, one kill. Kind of.
I need to get 007. It's hard for me to spend $25 on it.
Yeah, so Brent has a Nintendo 64 and a Sega Genesis.
Yep.
That's your retro consoles currently. Right?
Yeah, I'm not setting any records or anything, but I'm growing it a little bit.
You got a few Genesis games. You got a pretty good little Genesis collection.
Yeah. I got basically all the wrestling games for the 64.
Which are all, you know, the best wrestling games ever made.
Yeah.
They all are.
Which, if anybody remembers, because I don't remember, we while we were at the convention yesterday, I come across WCW Nitro
Yep.
for the 64, and I don't remember that.
Well, see, that was the precursor to Revenge.
So,
Revenge was the sequel of Nitro.
oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, see, I wasn't sure if, because on the PlayStation it had WCW Thunder.
Yeah.
NWO Thunder, and I was wondering, I was like, well, maybe that was maybe that was X or the 64's answer to
I
Thunder.
think you're right.
But
So it was WCW. Did it have NWO in it? Was it versus NWO? Because there was one of
for
them
the Sega or
no,
for the PlayStation.
for the 64.
Oh,
WCW versus NWO Nitro, right?
the
Because there was one that had
one we were looking at though yesterday was just WCW Nitro.
WCW Nitro. Because I know there was one that was WCW versus NWO. I could be wrong on this, man. This is just straight from
So
memory.
there was Revenge, there was World Tour.
World Tour is the one I'm thinking of then.
Yeah,
WCW versus NWO World Tour.
yeah.
Because it had just the white NWO.
Oh,
And then the Revenge had the white and red NWO.
so I want to look at
Nitro, I've seen that game around. Maybe I've never played it.
I'm going to look up some gameplay on YouTube or something and see if.
We'll have to see what's going on there. But yeah, the Nintendo
But
64
that's-
wrestling game.
But that's really the only wrestling game I don't have. I have the WF Attitude one,
Yeah.
which is awful because it's the one with the controls were so it was impossible because it was like left, right, up, down, triangle, square, X to do like a suplex.
Yeah, grapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awful, and that was the one where you had the hammer lock that you'd put on and their health would go.
Right.
But that and Warzone was rough.
A little rough.
yeah.
But the WCW games,
Yeah.
perfect.
But yeah, but see, that's kind of where they got their idea with it, though. That's when it was getting better because WCW versus NWO, the Revenge, and then that opened up for Mayhem. That opened up for No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000.
Right.
Yeah, they all had the same kind of controls, and those were really good games. But yeah, I'll have to check out that WCW Nitro.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. But so yeah, Brent was going to buy the PS2. 'Cause I've been playing. I've got him hooked on the PS2 now since
Yeah.
I've got the PS2 out, and we're playing all these awesome old games that we remember. But yeah, and the N64, it is back to your point. It is hard to buy games for it, man.
It is. They're expensive.
They're really expensive, especially the first party Nintendo games.
Well, and I really wanted to get Perfect Dark yesterday too.
Yeah, but it's like $20.
Yeah, I was like, I can't spend that right now.
Which $20 is still a lot. It's the third of a price of a new game.
Right. That's
But it's still it's kind of we're used to the days where you could buy a whole garbage bag full of NES games for $5.
Yeah.
The whole freaking or $1.
yeah.
They don't or 10 cents a piece.
Yeah.
They were giving that stuff away at flea markets.
Well, I remember when I was probably 12 or 13, kind of the area, I'd see Sega games for, like you said, 50 cents, 75 cents at Milton, and I didn't, at that time I was kind of past the Sega, so I wasn't really thinking about it. But kind of going by, cause like, man, I should have.
Yeah, and I don't. Maybe it's just because we didn't have money of our own back then.
Yeah.
And I think that's why there's a big retro gaming boom now, right? Why all these games are so expensive, because people like us, grew up and got jobs.
Yeah.
And can afford to buy a game here and there.
Right.
And they're all buying up every game from their childhood.
Yeah.
Us included. I'm guilty as well. I've got a whole damn 6 shelves full of retro video games. But it's kind of hard. That's why I'm collecting Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And the GameCube is actually getting pretty expensive too. So it's kind of ridiculous with the GameCube, because I do love my GameCube, man, and I play my GameCube games on the Wii now because it's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little ridiculous that GameCube is getting expensive, but PlayStation 2 and Xbox, nobody really wants that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some good games there, especially since I never had the Xbox.
Yeah.
I can collect that stuff, but those are good too, because I can go back and play those without I don't have any nostalgia for those at all.
Yeah.
So I can go back those and see if they're actually good games or not. And there are some really good games on the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of it for this week, guys. We were going to talk a little sports, but we rambled on.
We made it through another week.
Every week we put together a list of We show up Sunday morning. We put together a list of categories that we're going to talk about, and then I always say, "Oh man, this won't be enough for a whole show. This will be enough for 40 minutes, and we'll be lucky if we get 40."
Yep.
And then every week we have to skip topics, but
I mean, maybe one week we'll actually get to the topics we didn't make it to.
yeah, maybe. But I'll just speed through them real quick. Gruden is going crazy for the Raiders. Aaron Rodgers signed a $134 million contract with like $100 million guaranteed, which, he's the highest paid player ever now. Yep. And college football started. WVU versus Tennessee. Now, Kreitz, our buddy Jeremy Kreitz, can finally stop harassing Tennessee fans.
Yeah, man, just let them be.
Let them be, man. They just lost 40-14.
I mean, but I'm just saying, if he starts stalking, was it Youngstown?
Youngstown State fans, please, Kreitz, back off Youngstown State,
just
man.
Let them be, man.
Don't hate on them. They're just trying to. Those kids are just trying to get an education.
Yeah, man.
They're just playing football.
Just enjoy the win.
And they also did not beat the entire SEC.
No.
Tennessee's the worst team in the SEC.
No.
They went 4-8 last year, so I'm not going to let this go to my head. I love WVU. I'm looking at the schedule. NC State is going to be a tough game. NC State looked good. We need to not look past the NC State game, not look past Youngstown State, because you never know.
Yeah. Just ask Michigan.
Yeah, that's real. And, I think Appalachian State actually almost beat somebody yesterday.
Yeah, it went to overtime. Was it Penn State?
It might have been.
It went to overtime.
Every year people underestimate Appalachian State.
I'm telling you, man, they're ballers.
There's
not one team to overlook.
They win the Division II, or what is it called now? FCS?
Something like that.
Either one. FCS, I think. I think FBS is the 1A, and then FCS is the Division II or Division III, whatever it is. But yeah, man, every year they underestimate them, and then they ball out.
And then if anybody missed it, I don't know what game it was. We watched the highlight of it.
We're thinking it's Toledo by the helmet.
I'm pretty sure Toledo. But that punt he blocked, he took it off the kicker's foot and run it in.
Pretty cool college football
play. That was
play.
A pretty cool, especially for the first game of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was...
I never seen one quite like that. The punter hit the ball, and the guy just took it right off his foot.
Yeah, it was...
It's kind of crazy. So
I mean, it was a bang play too.
He just caught it and ran into the end zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we didn't get to our sports talk this week, but that's all right, man. We talked about some retro video games and some new video games, and kind of the same thing we talk about every week.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever. People listen, people don't.
Yeah. Hey.
But guys, thanks for listening to this week of the Couch Thoughts podcast. You can find us on Facebook. Just search Couch Thoughts Podcast. Also, this will be on Podomatic, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. And then, I forgot to post last week's video to YouTube again. It takes so long to render an hour-long video. I might just start, instead of videoing the entire podcast, I might just put the audio on YouTube with a still image again, because that's a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We filmed this one too, so we'll see how it goes. But YouTube, just search the Couch Thoughts podcast. I do some other, I've done a couple of other videos, and then things got busy at work, and I haven't been able to do a video in a while. But I have a couple videos up there on the YouTube channel. I think that about does it for this week. So. Guys, thanks for listening. Until next week. Later.